Hello everybody, this is part 2 in my discussion about the amazing Scotch Gambit and what an incredible weapon it is to win many games. And I'm going to start with their passive line, what I call a passive line. And the passive line is when they try, now this definitely magnifies the momentum to one square. So it's actually the queen, which is 9, and the bishop, which is 3.5, okay, which is 12.5, okay. 12.5 times 1 tells you what I think of that momentum. You don't, and the thing is, there's already a piece looking at that, and the gravity pulling the pieces here is quite low, and so what's actually happened is you've got this bishop here pointing at f7, and e7 is just very slow. So what move have we, if you remember from the first video we discussed, will give us the maximum momentum? And obviously this move here is looking to stop pieces from coming into g5 here. So obviously this move here, this Scotch Gambit move, is the key move. Alright, and it's the key move because the queen can come to b3 or even d5 and hit that. That is a real cog right there. That there's a lot of energy. Now black has a few responses here. There's two of them. There's one where black tries out this idea, and the other idea is black actually tries d takes c. So let's, both of them are quite dubious. Let's start with d3. So now the weapon. Now look at that momentum against that cog. Okay, and also it's actually 12.5 times the 3. So it's actually the momentum is huge coming down on here, and you got two pieces attacking, one defending, and the king is a terrible defender. And so black's position, you know, this pawn is attacking a couple of squares and can advance with a check, but it's nothing to be worried about. This engine of war here, this barrage, park the car in the garage, is just a devastating feature of c3, and obviously attacking f7. So the move knight a5 is sort of black's only real answer, and but it's really crushing. So bishop to f7.
Check.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much, computer. King to f8, only move. It's never a good sign when your king only has one square to move. Now the king is totally imprisoned, so check is mate. Alright, just give you a sense, an idea about that. But the knight did attack the queen, so how can the queen move and threaten this knight and protect the bishop? You can't really. This move here, very simple. If they save the knight, if you save the cheerleader, you save the world. Okay, if they save the knight, then you save your bishop, or even worse, you get one of the defenders of the king and you just lop him off. It's actually this diagonal is just gold though. Why would you give up one of your best pieces? You just wouldn't do it. So this is absolutely crushing this line. So we'll go back. Like I said, there's a few alternatives. Alright. And you know, what I love about the d3, I call it a premature advance. Alright, and so if black actually does actually capture in this passive line, alright, then we have the alternative to this. We have this. See, by actually capturing, our momentum is huge now. Our momentum is just massive, crashing down on this cog, this center of gravity, and you know, instantly we've increased our ability to. Our momentum here is just absolutely devastating, and Black's position is quite hopeless, quite desperate. And what's the problem with the knight on h6? On the rim is dim, but do you see the problem? What's actually happening is White's given up a few pawns for maximum momentum, okay, and it like an impulse. Development is like giving, freeing the positions so that your pieces can get that momentum combinations of forces together, because momentum is their value by their activity, and you're not going to have activity unless you give them some energy, move them forward, and open lines. So this passive line is just really bad. Yes, if you've guessed it, bishop takes h6, and then Black's position is, I'm getting out of here. Alright, at this point here, why slow down the attack on the king? Why retreat? Always forward, always forward. Alright, this move here is just the king is looking stupid, and so you can just look at this position here and just go, yeah, the king is pretty stuffed at this point. And this momentum it's got no real cogs, it's got no targets of any significance. You know, Harry, as the Ginger GM says, go Harry. You know, Harry's looking to make a run down the board. The king can even castle queenside and activate, create another barrage down the d file. I mean, I think with h4, h5, you know, h4, rook h3, it's looking ugly. It's not looking good. And even h4 and then knight g5, it's all, and you don't want to capture and win a pawn here. Well, you can't, because you know, so h4, knight g5, you can't overwhelm it because the queen looking pretty on the 5th rank, and obviously if you can open up the h file, the attacks just play themselves. This is, if you cannot attack from here, you have not been watching my trap videos. I mean, this is a poisoned position. So let's just go from the beginning, just to be clear, super clear. So, you know, step 1, get a lovely get a lovely pawn center. Step 2, no, that's not step 2. Step 2 is the Scotch Gambit. So, like, really, if you can get this position, and it doesn't really matter what they're going to do, you're gonna throw c3 at them. So, and if we get the passive line, you got your c3 in. Now you've got two choices. You got d3, which is a disaster, or you've got d takes c3, and you threaten mate. You're already threatening mate, and it's like move 6. The knight just goes out in desperation, and you've already captured the knight, so why not ruin the king's defenses? And then, yeah, you've almost finished your opening phase. Your opening phase is not finished till your king is castled and your heavies are connected. The heavies connecting is that momentum thing, and also it's also protecting the the major cog, center of gravity, pulling the pieces. So we can actually see here that it's for the price of the pawn. It's a pawn or two. It's absolutely crushing. And white's finished its opening phase. How long is it going to take black to even finish its opening phase, let alone save the king? H4, it's screaming, castle queenside, H4, knight G5, come crashing through. It's just screaming for it. And this move here, it's called the passive line for a reason. Alright, well, take care. I hope you really enjoyed part 2 of this the Scotch Gambit, the complete weapon. And the next video will be covering the premature line, bishop to b4. I can assure you it's just as bad. It's definitely premature. I would say in some ways it could be worse than the passive line. Alright, take care. Bye!